What GPU should you buy? Well, GPUs are finally back on the market, and especially at Best Buy, where I usually can get most of these, especially if you want a Founders Edition. That's where you have to pretty much go, unless you want to be paying double the price for them being full hash rate. You do not want to go on eBay or on your OfferUp, whatever it is. These are price to performance, the best gaming GPUs you can get right now. However, they don't have them in stock, and unless if you're hunting them down profusely, you're realistically not going to get one. I've been trying to get these just because it's, I guess, cheaper to like build with these than any other one. The 3060 Ti right now is running you about 440 after tax. The 3070 is running you about 540 after tax. And when you look at something like that, right, you're paying 440 for a 3060 Ti performance, which is close to like a 3070 like this EVGA, except I think I paid around $700 to $800 for this EVGA 3070 as opposed to 540. So you're saving yourself about what? Say 700. That's even before tax, or 780. I think I paid 780 with tax for these, as opposed to 540. What's that? 240 right now. Shit, I'm doing my math wrong. Yeah, I was doing right. What am I doing? So you're saving about $240 just from buying a Founders Edition compared to a third party like EVGA. And even, I think MSRP for a 3060, I don't remember what it was, I think it was 300. You're paying 420 for this EVGA 3060 right now. Like, that's pre-tax. And sure, you can get them, I would say, off of their site, you can get them pretty consistently. At least they're in stock at least 2-3 days out of the week. But I mean, if you're trying to go for a higher end card right now, I mean, there are plenty of options, right? There are always going to be 3080 Ti's and 3070s on the market. Not 3070s, my bad. 3070 Ti's on the market. I've seen a couple of 3070 Ti. I have a box over there for a 3070 Ti Force Master. I think they're 900 right now, pre-tax. So like what, 900? Damn, I don't really want to do the math. Well, in California, the state the tax for something like that is about 8%, depending on where you live. Maybe a little bit higher, like up to 10. So we'll do 10 just because of simplicity reasons. It's gonna be running you about $990, but something like the 3080 in my computer right now, that's why I have it up here. Something like this, from Gigabyte, this 10 gig version is $1,000. I think it was $1,029. So after tax, you're looking at about like 1,130, assuming that 10% thing. So it's one of those things where it's like, do you get a GPU now, or do you just wait for the new series, the 40 series cards? Because they're coming out here in, I would say, what, 4 months? I think it's late second quarter, or no, not late second quarter, late third quarter. So you could wait for those, but I have not looked into performance. There have been leaks, obviously, because NVIDIA hacked recently. But realistically, these two cards, unless if you're like going for them profusely, these aren't an option for most people. They're just, how would I put it? They're too hard to get. And even something like the Eagles, the Gigabyte's Eagle version, right, that are a little bit easier to get, there aren't always in stock. And I think these are running you like 530 3060 Ti's from Gigabyte, and they're they're good. Obviously it depends what game are you trying to play, right? If you're trying to run, I would say most games, I think the 3060s, EVGA says that it can run 8K at 60 FPS. So something like this probably run 8K. Let's see if Gigabyte specifies. I'm gonna tell you my experience. I haven't really gamed with this. This is just builds that I've made for people, or like, yeah, pretty much just for people that I just I know I have two boards up there, two Z490s with an i5 and then an i3. Obviously, they're not going to be using that many port counts or that much memory, but just people that have been, I guess, looking for assistance. I usually have the GPUs, like, I don't have them in hand, but I can get them pretty easily right now, especially with Best Buy, you know, doing they were doing their drops every Thursday, then it changed for whatever reason. Right now, it's random. Whenever they're running low on stock, they'll just restock. And funny enough, if you're looking for a GPU, let's say, you know, this 3060 dies, right? If you're looking for a replacement, go on the Best Buy app, download it on your phone, right? And look up RTX if you want a, what's it called, a NVIDIA graphics card. And then don't filter anything out. Just select your store, and then on the top left corner, it's gonna say like in stock. Click it, make sure it's blue, and if they have any cards in stock, it'll tell you pretty much. I know my local one has a 2060 12 gig. Obviously, it just came out, I think last March. No, wait, when did it come out? Like last summer. But they have that. I know a Best Buy, I would say probably like an hour away. Traffic, LA traffic, by the way. That's why I said hour away. One of those cards, that store, my bad. It has a 3070 Ti Vision from Gigabyte, which is running you about $899. So like I said, they have 70 Ti's. They even have a 3090, but I mean, nobody's really going for them. You don't really need the 24 gigabytes of DDR6X or something like that. Like if you're just gonna play like, I don't know, Valorant. Valorant's a heavy CPU based game, not really GPU. So you can get away with like a 1660, even like my brother has a 1660 Ti. And you know, but it's gonna be running you about $2,200 and I think $19 because it's an MSI variant. But it's one of those things where if you desperately need one, it's there. They also had the 2060 12 gig. Most stores right now have it. Don't recommend you buy it. Here's what I recommend you do. I know that you don't want to wait for a card, right? But if you're in desperate need of a card right now, Asus might be the way to go. Recently, Asus has been dropping their prices like many GPU competitors have, or third parties, I would say. They've been dropping their prices, and Asus was running the 3060 Ti version 2 KO for $530 off of Newegg, and I do believe Newegg was selling it. So in terms, if you want your best bang for buck right now, and you're looking, you can wait probably 2 weeks to get the card, I would recommend you go with Asus. And maybe you don't like the, maybe their warranty or something, you don't like the way they do business, something like that. But if you want like the best bang for your buck, the other day I was, I'm in a GPU Discord, and on Amazon a we'll call it $700, 3070 Ti Asus TUF came up. And when you look at prices like that, it's like, well, the next closest one down is a 3070 Ti from NVIDIA, the Founders Edition. But the reality is you're not going to be able to get one of those very easily. You can get the 3080 Ti pretty easily, and in terms of gaming performance, it has it. It's probably the best gaming GPU in the market right now for its price. I know that EVGA has their 3080 Ti also, but it starts at I think $1,329, and it's their XE3 variant. I think no, these are FTWs, but it's $100 more than the Founders Edition. And the only way to get the 3080 Ti Founders Edition is to go in store and ask. Okay, so I didn't finish explaining the Best Buy trick. Here's what you do, right? You go to the Best Buy app, pre-saved, you go to RTX. I'm gonna say, let's say, West LA, right? West LA here. West LA, and then you're on this page where it has all the GPUs on the top left of the screen. You just press that, make sure it's blue. West LA right now has a 3070 Ti from Gigabyte for $850, the 3080 Ti FTW from EVGA for $1,480. They have a 3070 Ti from MSI for $850 right now. They have a 3080 Ti that is on discount from Gigabyte for $1,299. And the MSI GeForce 2060 12 gig, that is $12, right? So you have that now. You go into the store, you go to, you can go to the PC part, you can go to pretty much, I would avoid new employees because I went to one closest to me. I won't disclose location obviously because I don't want to get doxxed, but I clearly saw the 3080 Ti back there, and they told me we don't have it. Or the guy told me he doesn't. And obviously you could tell when somebody's a new employee because they're just going to go onto the app. Don't tell them, don't ask for the GPU and give them the SKU, and then if they say, oh, we don't have it, it could have gone sold. They don't really have the obligation to sell you the GPU, but it could have gone transferred to another store to fulfill another order. That's what happened with the 3080 I was looking for a while ago. So it's things like that. You should don't get angry at them. Sometimes they just don't know, but that's probably the best way to look for a GPU. Oxnard, that's like an hour or 30 away with traffic obviously on the 101. That store has a 3090 right now. Like I said, I was there yesterday. But things are finally getting back in stock. In terms of getting a GPU, it's not impossible anymore. In terms of getting price to performance, that's where you're going to struggle a little bit. And it's just because, how would I say, MSRP doesn't really exist right now. It really doesn't. And what I mean by that is a 3080 should be what, $700 and I think it's $770 after tax, so it's $700 pre-tax. So like the Founders Edition, the boxes I showed you earlier, those would be $700. This, which one is it? Yeah, this one. This 3080 Ti should be $700 or close to it, or closer to that than $1,029. Obviously, there is a $300 markup on this card just for being a third party. This 3060 should be realistically $400, like $350, $300 to $400. I don't remember the MSRP because I think the 3060s came out for maybe a couple of months and then they went out of stock and then they replaced them with the 3060 Ti, which is $400. So realistically, ballparking, I would put this at $300. I think I paid $530 for this card back in 2020. It's $200 markup. This MSI one, I think I paid $780, so $700. When obviously the Founders Edition is gonna be cheaper. It's $540. Same thing with this one. I paid $780, maybe $800. I don't remember really well on these. Another one of these. This person wanted, I want to say dual, but he wanted the other 3070, so I put it in the build, and then I have this 3060 just lying around in an office PC with this one, with these two 3060s, doing something else. I have, I think, two 3060 Ti's up there as well. I mean, the GPU market might be recovering, but it's going to take a little bit. And just because, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Should you buy a GPU right now, or do you just wait? Realistically, you're 3 months out, unless if you desperately need it. I can't see someone justifying the price for it. Online's probably the way to go. If you want a 3080 right now, Zotac is running their it's not their Ampolo, it's their, no, I think it is Ampolo, Light Ampolo, for $950 on their site. They have, obviously they have the Trinities in stock. The 3090s are finally coming down from that $2,500 markup to $1,999. the 3090 Ti's. I never really dabbled with them. I really never had anybody say, "Damn, I want a 3090 Ti recently," just because it came out. 3090s, same thing, pretty much impossible to get. So I just didn't. Unless you brought me the GPU up when you commission it. It's just, it was rough. I mean, there were points in time where I knew my 2080 was okay, but I mean, I wanted to get a 3080. 3090 would have been nice, but I'm not using the 24 gigabytes of DDR4 or DDR6 encoding, right? And I also need to get a new motherboard, like I mentioned in my other video, and CPU for this computer, but I'm gonna wait. I think that if you, how do I say it? If you don't desperately need the computer and you're not really gaming all that much, I think you wait, because I wouldn't say I've read the news outlet very well, or like the, what is it, like the story, but apparently like the 4070 is supposed to be better than the 3080, obviously, and that's the way with technology, you know, the new version comes out and it's significantly faster. Look at this. Hear me out. My 2080 Super was good, right? It was probably one of the better cards of the 20 gen GPUs, right? But then the 30 series came out, and for price to performance, I think a 2080 was 850-ish, roughly around there. I mean, this 3070 is I think it was, here, this one was an open box. Oh, I destroyed the packaging. But I think this GPU new, I know I paid $780 for it. And it's one of those things where it's 12% faster in, what's it called, in benchmarking. And it's the same price as, well, $70 cheaper than a 2080 Super, right? When they first came out. So when you look at it that way, a Founders Edition, you're looking at 540 and it's 12% faster. You're not only taking that about $200 cheap, you're taking it $200 cheaper than the old gen. You're also getting a 12% performance boost from it. But something that's been kind of, I wouldn't say killing me, but it's like a thought, is NVIDIA saw that people were willing to pay $1,000 for a full, like, so, well, miners were looking to like buy full hash rate GPUs, like Founders, for $1,000, and then you have people, like, I guess desperately needing, like, when you don't, it's like luxury, right? But people were willing to pay $200-300 more for a GPU, which kind of is a scary thought, because NVIDIA could theoretically just say, you know what, screw old MSRP, we're going to jump along with these third brand parties and just mark them up. That's something that is kind of annoying, to be honest, because GPUs were relatively cheap, I guess you could say. Like, even a 1660, I remember being $250 to $300. That's what I think we bought the 1660 Ti and that computer for. And that was back in 2019, early 2020, like right before 2021. And honestly, like, I thought they were expensive. I mean, I thought I got a good deal on this PC. I think I paid $2,000 for it, or $1,800, around $2,000 for it. But I mean, it wasn't bad necessarily. Like, looking back at it, I wish I would have built it myself, because it would give me a little bit more experience, or maybe it got me into the building GPU or building computer game a little bit earlier. But it's something I really enjoy, and I think people, you know, you don't necessarily have to have the best GPUs to go for it. But I do think that if you're trying to look for a GPU right now, right this second, I think you go for Asus. Honestly, Asus is probably the cheapest GPU on the market right now. And honestly, if you're looking into like motherboard and CPU, I saw a CPU, a B550 and a Ryzen 5 56 or 50. Was it 56? I think it was 5600 for $240. Which honestly, I don't remember if it was a 5600G or 5600X. But I think it was just a 5600 though. That thing was 250. I mean, you have a motherboard, CPU combo right there that could handle these new GPUs without bottlenecking them. And I think that, you know, you could still build a budget-friendly PC. I never dabbled in 3050s because I just never really needed to. I could get these, I got these all through 2020 and 2021, but, you know, it's one of those things where it's easier to get them even now. A 3050 is a budget, but like when you look at a 3050, I think there's 4 gig and 8 gig, right? And I think the 4 gigs MSRP is 250, and then if you try to start dabbling into the 8 gig, they're like 380. So it's one of those things where it's like, at that point, you know, get this EVGA 3060, and it has 12 gigabytes of DDR6. And this is obviously a low profile. I mean, it's, look, there. Okay, this is triple fan. Let me look for a double fan one. See if I have one. Same card. I do believe this one's slightly bigger. Maybe by not that much, but if, you know, that matters for your PC case. You have like an ATX or MATX, something like that. Or not ATX, ATX is a big one, but I have a cousin that has a smaller case than this, and he can only fit dual fans, but if that matters to you guys. But another $50, you get this 3060, and it's gonna last you a little bit. I wouldn't say a little bit longer, but it's overall price to performance. I think you take the leap on $50 and you buy something like a 3060 instead of a 3050 8 gig. I haven't really looked at the benchmarks for it, obviously. A 3060 right now, I think it's the same as a 20, or roughly around this. It's like a 2060 performance. But yeah, I mean, personally, if you could outweigh the time, you don't really need a GPU for 4 months. You might just want to stick with your current card if you're looking to upgrade and just wait for the new series, the 40 series. Because not only are you in current gen, they might actually even be better than the cards here on this table. Founders Edition, the MSRP might even come back, but then you're also taking the chance that it might not. So it's, you know, one of those things that you could take a gamble on it and wait it out. But I mean, the 3060s are in stock right now on EVGA for 420 if you really need one. I know that for a fact. 3070s from EVGA, you're realistically not going to find right now. And then 70 Ti's you will find. I've seen them. I think they're started like at $780 for the, what is it, the FTW one. The XC3 one, I haven't really seen that much in stock. MSI, I don't think they sell off their site, so MSI might be a little bit harder to get right now. I mean, even this MSI 3070 I got from Micro Center in Tustin, and great card, by the way. I have 2 of these, and none of them have given me a problem. I haven't really heard too much bad things about MSI. But if, like, realistically, you're looking for a GPU gigabyte right now, as of March, more no, we're in April, my bad. As of April right now, you'll probably find, chances are you'll probably only get TIs or higher end cards. Like if this 3060, I highly doubt you'll get. I mean, I know there's Best Buy right now has a 3080 12 gig. It was at $1,049. I thought about returning this one and getting the other one just because of price. It's $20 for just 2 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's only a little bit worse in the 3080 Ti. So I think the prices are fluctuating too much currently to like scout out and just go buy it. But honestly, if you have the time, the money, I think go for it. That's gonna be it for today, but hey, don't forget it. right? Leave a like if you like the video. I'll leave my second video. It's gonna be my second video. And yeah, honestly, I don't recommend buying a high-end GPU right now, especially if you're like teetering on not getting one. It's hard to justify that price right now. I could justify 3080 because I know I'm gonna run this card at least 2 years before I actually upgrade. But like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, maybe you're looking for it, but you can't, like, you're looking for like a price to performance. Look, I don't mean to crush your dreams, but getting a Founders Edition is tough. It just is. Cards dropped yesterday, and there were maybe like maximum of 20 cards that dropped in the US. And I don't know if Canada can get, like, Best Buys, obviously. I don't know. I don't think they have them, but like the States had max 20 cards because they sold out, or they either sold out or they were bought. Realistically, probably the latter, right? They got bought. So it's one of those, take it with a grain of salt. You can bot them, but I mean, it's gonna be rough. Like 20, like no BS. They lasted a max of 5 minutes, and they sold out. And then the way Best Buy's been doing their queue system, sometimes it just puts you in a loop. I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of rough, not gonna lie. So that'll be it for today. But hey, if you like the video, obviously. But you want to see more content? It's only my second video, like I said earlier, but just trying to post some informational. Eventually, like I said in my last video, I will be upgrading this because I need to install that 240mm, and I do not believe that it's gonna fit up here top. And if it does, it's gonna get Mickey Mouse with like zip ties or something, or like washers, because the holes are too big for like a regular screw. So, and that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.